Well, as a band, absolutely.
Okay.
That's kind of what we do. We take accountability.
Wow. You're throwing shade right now? That's crazy.
Wow. So
I'm just saying, if you've never done it.
I mean,
okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of The Last Talk Show, a very special episode once again, as we're diving into what is nowadays a controversial topic, really the topic of dating. Dating today is different. It's a lot different from when our parents were around. It's kind of unique nowadays due to some different things, which we're going to talk about in the episode. Now, I have two wonderful people here to the right and to the left. Chivalry is not dead with Pointer, because I have a wonderful woman who I want to introduce first, and she is a talker, so she's going to introduce herself. Elle, we're so glad to have you here. Elle, look in that camera and tell them just a little about you.
Hello, my name is Elle. I'm a content creator, and I'm an actress, a model, a dental assistant, a little bit of everything, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you, Elle, for being here today. What an honor and a privilege it is. And we have Christian. Christian, you are a talker. I don't have to introduce you. You tell the viewer about you.
I am a talker. My name is Christian. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and that's about it. Good ass dad.
I was about to say he's a great
dad.
I'm
a great
don't forget
I'm a
that.
great
He's a great
dad. Goddamn.
All right. So I'm so happy to have these two here today. I want to dive right in. We do not have a moment to waste. So I want to begin by asking Elle a very important question. It's something that I haven't heard asked really, and it's a really relevant question. It's, have you ever done a self-assessment to determine at a time you were single or at any time in your relationship status to determine why you're in that relationship status, especially single? Have you ever done that?
No, I actually haven't. No. I always think it's the other person that has the problem. It's not me.
Okay. So you feel you've got it together?
I think so.
Okay.
In the dating field, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back to that. Christian, have you ever done, just honestly, have you ever done a self-assessment to determine why am I single right now?
Well, as a band, absolutely.
Okay.
That's kind of what we do. We take accountability.
Wow. You're throwing shade right now? That's crazy.
So
I'm just saying, if you've never done it.
I mean, I don't think it's a man or woman thing, but
so you think just individuals, some take accountability, some don't?
you just have it or you don't.
Okay. 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 I think this is a really important one. We're going to get spicy right out the gate. I saw this comment on a video, and it kind of shocked me. It said, women tell men that women are not just a sex object, and that is not where their value is. Yet, women put value to a man based on the amount of money that they have. I can say that one more time. Women tell men and everyone, hey, I'm not just a sex object. I am, a valuable woman. Yet to men, they'll say, no, man, your value is based on how much money you have. Elle, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that statement is true? Is it false? What do you think? Is a man's value in his money?
No, I don't think so. I think his value has a lot to do with like his morals and like how he holds himself as a man and like his values, and money is just like in addition to, like, I think, you know what I mean? It just makes it a little bit better. It's like, if you have a bad, that's great, but if she has her own money and she has a car and her own place, then it's like, okay, great. Now she's perfect. So I think like money just makes people look even better, but you don't have to have it to be a good man.
So you would date a man that is broke?
Yeah. I would, but
okay. 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 We'll come back. Christian, your thoughts on that question?
Damn lie.
A lot of times, and it breaks my heart, I'm supposed to stay neutral, but a lot of times, it's crazy. It'll be attractive women that say, oh, I'll date them broke. And it's like,
and we'll never date them broke.
I mean,
who's the last broke nigga you dated?
I don't know, but if he was, I would be okay.
I bet I
with
could
it.
say the last broke
If we
one
had
I
like
dated.
a connection, like I could get past that, because I mean, money you can earn. It's not like you're gonna stay broke if I'm with you. Like,
oh, so you're gonna you would elevate them?
Yeah.
Okay, Christian. Now your thoughts on the question? Or is a man's value in his pocket, in his money?
No. A man's value is in his ability to make choices, right? In order to further the household, to lead and do these kinds of things. It's a lot easier to do those things with money. But I don't think that that's inherently what the value of a man is. But I think as men, we value men differently than we value women, and women value women differently than they value men.
Okay.
I think it's a value system.
Okay. Elle, your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, what is my thoughts on what exactly?
I guess on what he's saying, is it true that should it matter, the value should, because he was saying it's not just money. So I guess y'all are kind of agreeing on that it's basically not just money.
Yeah, because you
right?
can have a lot of money and you can be a person. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, majority of them are.
I wouldn't.
Like
That's what I mean. So it's like,
But that wouldn't stop the majority of women. Let's be honest.
but the good ones, it would make a difference.
You got
So
the good ones.
ones
What's
like
the
me.
definition of a good woman?
Me.
What makes you a
What
good
makes you a
woman?
good woman? I'm saying you're not.
He might be. I'm truly asking.
Hold on, no. I'm just saying in general.
What
That's
makes
I
you,
mean.
but truly, and a good woman in general, as I'm sure you've modeled maybe your dear mother, grandma, aunt, somebody. What made you a good woman or makes you a good woman?
I think, like, I have a really big heart. I'm understanding. I'm empathetic. I am hardworking. I'm ambitious. I'm loving. I have, like, values and morals, self-respect, but, like, I also look good, too. So that's a perk.
Right.
I have my own money.
Right.
I don't need a man for anything. It would be nice, but, like, I don't need one. So I think that all of those things make me, like, great.
Okay. Christian, your thoughts on that?
No, I think if all those things are true, then
Then that's a great thing.
Right.
This isn't even in the notes, but I have to ask this because I like how Elle just said she don't need a man and you could have it all. You're just popping. A lot of times I've heard from pretty prominent people that study the psychology of men and women, they say that a man is never fully a man until he is with a good woman, until he wipes her up and she develops him into that good man. Do y'all believe that's true? Do you, he gets canceled a lot, but I can't deny some of the stuff he says. Farrakhan is one that said that a man is not ever fully a true man until he gets with a woman. They say a wife can be a wife without a husband. I just saw that too. They say a wife, like a woman, she knows how to do those duties without having a man. But a man can't do what a husband can until he get the wife. Do you think that's true, Christian?
So I think that there are things intrinsically that a man needs to be able to take care of in order for him to fully become a man, right? Like you won't know what it's like to need to protect something until you have something that you need to protect. If, for the most part, I've never been with a woman who can fight my fights, but I can fight her battles, right? There are battles that I don't know that I need to fight until I'm with somebody who I need to fight for.
Okay.
Same thing as having kids. I don't think that a man knows what it truly means to be a man if he doesn't have a child. Because, mind you, I'm not saying you are not a man because you do not have a child, but there are levels to these things, right? If you don't know what it means to give your heart and give sacrifice to something that's to build another life, you necessarily don't know how good you are.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to stay neutral. Elle, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I guess in some ways I kind of agree. Like, when it comes to, like, guys being fathers and stuff, I think it's a whole nother level they unlock, like, as far as, like, nurturers and, like, being able to provide for people. But I think, like, for women, like, I think also being in a relationship changes you as a person. Because, like, I think as a girl or, like, even as a pretty girl or something, like, you're just so used to getting things your way. And then when you finally get in a relationship, you kind of have to, like, shift how you feel and how you view stuff based off another person. Like, you know what I mean? That's hard.
Okay.
I think.
So I think both of you are saying that is not, you're kind of saying it kind of is true, especially with the kids thing. You're saying that a man will not be a full man, whatever that means, because I know toxic masculinity, people try to cancel men in general, but you're saying that you will not reach your full potential until you either have the child or get married.
Well, I think this is the same thing for men and women too. I think.
So when does a woman reach her?
I think society, and probably just in general, society judges a woman based off of man she's able to keep, or she's able to achieve, or she's able to get, and a man is based off of a woman he's able to keep. Because of a man, because let's just understand something. Women believe in hypergamy. It is what it is.
We're gonna talk.
We're right. It's their men believe in relational equity. We'll look at the amount of time we put into something. We'll look at the years we put into something and continue to build upon that. Women don't do that necessarily. It's about what they feel in the moment. So a man that is able to keep a woman continuously is a man who is able to continue moments. Whereas a woman who's able to keep a man it's just different.
Is it about the moment, Elle? Is it about? Or do
No.
You can get analytical too, right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's about the moment. I think it really has to do with like over time, like seeing if you can really deal with this person. Because like I think in the beginning, everyone wants to like like appear as like perfect. You know, they kind of want to figure out what the person likes so they can like adjust to that. But that's not really who they are. So I like judge people based off of like time. Like like are you still the same like man that I met like when we first started like hanging out, or like do you change? Like how do you act when things don't go your way? How do you act? Like all of those things matter, because in the long run, after like a pill and everything fades away because everyone gets old and shit, like the person on the inside matters and how they are. So I mean, because I could go on a date with someone, they can go great, and then the next day it's like or like 2 weeks from now. I just think time like proves things a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean about the moment to moment. I'm saying men will build upon time, like, and it will continue. Like we'll start to love exponentially.
You don't think a woman?
I don't think so. I firmly don't believe so.
That's crazy.
All right.
All right. I mean, this is why 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Doesn't matter how much I don't know how much time you have involved in it. Men aren't initiating divorces for a reason. We built something. We understand the investment. It's a different level of
You're saying
evidence behind
could it be that men are being more logical behind it and women are going based more on emotion?
I think men are much more emotional than women. And the reason why I say that, right, is because how women are able to just throw out emotions, that's fine. We expect women to be emotional, right? But men are the lovers. It is what it is. That's why the best poets in history have been men. The best artists in history. Like when we think about love songs being written, we think about poets, we think about these things. They're men.
But you're saying men are more emotional, but I guess we're talking about, you're saying 80% of women initiate the divorce.
Right.
But
those are emotional reactions, absolutely. Just because we are more emotional, we do not express emotions like that. But that's why the majority of men are.
So you're saying many
majority of suicides
express their emotions in art only?
Well, no, we express. I mean, men will blow their face off for a woman, but not vice versa.
I definitely think a woman would probably like end her life over a man. I think
you
like
can look at statistics. You can pull that up. That's not how that works.
I mean, even the low tide that I need a ride or die chick. You know, there are some ride or die chicks.
We want them, but they're not. They don't exist like that. They're there. I'm not saying they're not.
Maybe you just haven't had one.
I maybe also haven't had one. Maybe I can only speak from my experience and the experience of thousands of men.
No, and you are coming with. Let's move a little forward. Why is the dating world so awful right now? Let's start with Elle. Elle, why is? Because I had to speak for LA, and Pointer never gets too personal, but dating is very not the best right now. Why do you think? Well, first of all, do you think it's bad right now in general? Let's go America. Is dating bad? Because a lot of people say there's pee in the dating pool. That's like a common one. Have y'all haven't heard that?
No.
I mean, have you heard that? No? What? There's pee in the dating pool. I probably did. I'm pretty creative. No, but Elle, what do you think about dating in general? What do you think?
Dating is hard.
Yeah.
Dating is so hard. Like I think like finding someone that you actually like mesh with is like rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like someone that you genuinely want to like be around all the time. And then like nowadays everybody's so superficial that it's like once they meet someone that they like, they're like, oh, well, I have this one, so what else can I get out there? Like, but then they don't realize like you're not gonna get that same connection from every person that you meet. And like I think life is so short that like when you find it, you should hold on to it. And people don't do that. Like they think like, oh, there's gonna be another opportunity for this to come around, but it's not. And then men are a lot of the times. Like they're the reasons most of the time that like relationships don't work, I think.
80% of divorces are initiated by women.
What book are you reading this out of?
The Census Bureau.
But to Elle's point, now I'm supposed to just stay neutral, but to Elle's point, 80% of women could be initiating it because the men are falling short in some area.
Right, and I'm not saying that men are just perfect, because we absolutely are not. But
not everyone can be Pointer.
Not everybody can be Pointer. Points is pretty goddamn good, but just in total, just in general, right? I'm not saying that women are just wantonly doing it because, I mean, again, there are men that aren't.
Right.
Right. But I don't think men are the problem with the dating pool, because who's not getting dates?
Both.
Come on now.
Or you think
if she wanted to go out and get a date today.
But you got to, well, Oh, yeah.
It's men. I think it said women have opportunity, men have chances. I think that's the.
Do you think that statement is true? Because he's saying it's easy for you to just pick up.
Probably, but am I gonna pick up just like the most quality guy? Like, no, probably not. Like, there's a long list of men that might want to take me on a date, but are they what I want? No.
Right. So the long list of men that want to take you on the date compared to the long list of women that want to take men on dates, those aren't the same thing.
Why would a woman take you on a date?
That's the point that I'm trying to talk
We're
about.
about to get into that.
There's an entitlement there. That is why women are the issue.
Okay, that's not. But okay.
There is some entitlement, and that literally.
Don't you have your own money,
Yeah.
your own house, your own space? You don't need a man for nothing. So why is it
But aren't
for
you
your dates?
supposed to be a provider as a man?
Why would I provide for somebody who has no value to me right now?
Why would I not have value to you?
Just going on a date doesn't give you value.
First date.
Yeah, but the way I was raised, a man's supposed to pay for the date. A man.
I'm sure in the way you were raised too, the woman wasn't also having her own spot, her own house, her own money, her own job, her own car.
Why was she not?
Well, who were you raised by?
My parents.
And at that point, was your mom working?
Yeah.
Your mom still has a job?
Yes.
What does she do?
She's a therapist.
Oh, that's nice, actually.
some good money.
That's good money right there.
I guess we don't have to go to the outlier of a great example, because we do know some that, back in the day, we both agree, all three of us, that dating back then was different. Right. They were more ready. They were having families at 20.
Right.
I got grandpa at 25. He already had 7 children. So it's like it was different. But now it has evolved to a degree. No, literally. Yeah. By the time they were done, it was 13 children. But okay, that's not Pointer's story. But anyway, let's dive in then, because we started going the entitlement of, should men always pursue women? I think that's where we were kind of going towards that. So Elle, you kind of already said, but go a little deeper. Should men always pursue women?
I think in the beginning, yes. Like, a man is supposed to like court a woman and kind of show her like what life would be like as like with them together, right? But I think like women should also meet like men in the middle, because I think a lot of times I do agree that guys don't really get that affection from women, because we're not taught to do that. Like, we're kind of like supposed to be chased and stuff like that. And I feel like that's why some relationships fail, because women are like, oh, well, like he didn't call me or he didn't text me, so I'm not going to reach out. But I think it's both ways. Like, I think guys want to be like complimented, and they want to be like, they want to be like feel special just like we do.
Right.
So I think, do I believe that men should pay for dates? Yeah, but like, will I pay for a date with my man? Hell yeah, I will. Like, I'll pay for it. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but I feel like there's a point in which that's supposed to happen. Yeah.
But a first date?
No.
Okay.
No.
Christian?
Why? Now, I'm not saying, now mind you, I'm going to pay for every first date. Absolutely. Without question, I'm going to pay for it. But the fact that you feel that it needs to happen, that
golden
it has
rule.
to happen, the golden rule, that shows me you won't date a broke nigga. If a nigga can't take you on a date, you will not date him. It doesn't matter what his morals are. It doesn't matter how good of a person he is. It doesn't matter how much he loves his mom. It doesn't matter how much you take care of sick puppies. If he can't pay for your first date, you're going to immediately X him out.
No, I didn't say we had to go to Javier's or nothing, but like, you can take me somewhere. We can.
He can't afford McDonald's. Let's say he can't afford McDonald's.
There are some.
Then you shouldn't be dating.
She does have that is a valid point.
Man? Isn't that something you said you would do? You would elevate him?
Yes.
Get him to the point where he can pay for McDonald's, and then he can pay for no. Then he can pay for planes.
I don't think you should be dating if you can't afford McDonald's. You're not ready to date.
So you're saying 16-year-olds shouldn't date?
They could. A 16-year-old can have a job.
I can have a job. Age. Absolutely.
Lower it to 14 then. Lower it to 14.
Let's say 14.
No.
No, little high school. They dated. Shoot. I see a lot of teens.
You had game, though. I didn't have game.
Hey, don't start that. A lot of their kids in middle school at 11 dating. Should we say they don't date? But that's where you explore. I mean, I'm not freaky stuff, but still, 2 little 11-year-olds under the picnic, under the.
And when I was dating or like meeting people at that age, like I don't know where they got their money from, but we was at the food court and they paid for my corn dog or whatever it was, so I wasn't asking them to like take me on a shopping spree or nothing, but I think it all has to do with like a sacrifice that you're making when you're dating someone, like time, money, all that.
Why do I need to sacrifice right away? Sacrifice should be reserved for those that I actually care about. Sacrifice should be reserved for my children, for my woman, for my mother, for my daughter, for my father, for my sisters, for my cousins. Why should I sacrifice for a stranger when I can put that sacrifice towards somebody that I actually love?
Well, you have to learn to love somebody. It's like a work in progress, not something that happens overnight.
Just as much as you should have to learn to sacrifice, right?
No.
So men should just sacrifice just because we're men.
Women do it. We sacrifice too.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Just where?
In every area, in
Give
every
me one.
aspect.
All I need is one.
We show up. I think
We
that's
show up too. What are we
Like,
talking about?
you show up, but you obviously
We show
sound
up
like
with
you
the money.
hate women. Like that's
We
how it
show up with the
sounds.
car.
You sound
We
like
show
you
up
want
with
to
the
be a girl,
opportunity.
so you can see what it feels like to be us or something. And then maybe it'll make sense to you. But I mean, I feel like the women, like we pretty much bring everything. Like we're the nurturers. Like we build a home. We create like you can have an empty space, and a woman can turn that into like a homey space. You know what I mean?
So you have
She
to have
can
the space to
cook.
turn it into a home.
Yeah.
So are you saying more, L, it's not maybe not even a sacrifice, it's an investment. On the
Yeah.
first date, the man should be willing to, hey, and not in every investment pays off. Trust me, Pointer has had his failed investments, especially in the woman category. But I personally, okay, don't laugh at me.
Pointer has a 100% success.
with that ideology, you know, of, I'm not supposed to take any sides, but appealing to tradition in terms of that's just how I was taught. Do you think that thinking should evolve over time? In some ways, it's a great thing, like evil white people thinking we're less than. Thank God that he kind of evolved out for
Right,
some.
some things
For
need to
some,
go.
for some. But do you think that the ideology of, hey, that's how it was always done, man pay for woman, that's how it should always be, do you think that should remain in place, appealing to tradition?
Yeah, I mean that's how I was raised. Like that's how my dad always taught me to be. Like if a man's not gonna do certain things, like why would you even give him your time? Like I feel like my time is just as valuable as you paying for a steak or fucking a hamburger or something. Like all of that adds up. Time is important too, just like money. You can always get more money back. You can't get your time back.
Right. So the time that I spent getting the money to buy this steak is worth what?
Having me there at the dinner with you, like,
I could eat a steak by myself. What?
but that would be lonely.
I know it wouldn't.
It would.
Got the waitress right there.
I'd get more sides.
Are you gonna like cuddle with the steak after too?
But you already said that you might not take the man home. You might not go home
I
with
probably
the man.
won't. And on the first date,
So then I'm not cuddling with you either. So what's the
You
point?
might. You might.
So there's a chance
So there's
that I
a
might.
he's got to
a
walk
chance.
the fine line.
If I want to take
Yeah.
that steak home and cuddle with that steak, there's a 100% chance I'm cuddling with that steak.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, come on, filet.
So your primary reason for men always pursuing women is because that's just how the way it's been, that you feel that's just a tradition. That's just the way it should be.
I think there's there's gender roles that should be played, and like I don't think a woman is supposed to be that aggressive.
So you're kind of relying on some of the older ways of thinking of, the woman has a certain place and the man has a certain place.
Yeah, I mean, look at the world right now. Like, I think it's completely misconstrued, and now like there's so many thoughts on like how things are supposed to be. Like women are like, oh, I can do what a man does, and it's now, right? But I think when our parents were younger, like it was more traditional. Like marriages stayed together, families stayed together, and now look, now you have people trying to do things they're not supposed to do, and that's how I feel.
She right. She right. She true. No, she's.
No, well, that's definitely true. But does it have to do specifically with the man pursuing the woman? Do you think that is where kind of it's nestled in because the man is not pursuing women as much nowadays, that's creating some divide? There has to be some couples where they split, where I don't think the woman should pay for it all, but that could be discussed too. Like, is that where a lot of issues are being rooted from? Men not paying for the meal, men not pursuing women?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had it happen to me, but I've heard stories before where girls are like, yeah, I went on a date and like he thought we were going Dutch or something. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, how do you, I might as well go out to eat with my friends if I'm going to pay for my food. Like,
Isn't friendship a good basis for a relationship?
yeah.
So why would we not go 50-50? If I can't see that you can provide for yourself, why would I need to provide for you? What does
You
that
were
do for
seeing
me?
that I can provide for myself the day that you met me and decided to ask me out on a date.
No, because there are things that guys just genuinely don't care about. We don't care about your money. We don't care about you having a car or your own place.
Why not?
What does that do for me if I have to pay for everything?
But you're not. You're not paying my car, no. You're not paying for my clothes, my hair, my makeup, all that stuff.
But
I
if
do
I'm
by
paying
myself.
for the date, right? If I just have to make an initial investment, you were
just
talking
talking
about
about a
men
date.
sacrificing. If I have to sacrifice, I'm going to sacrifice for these things anyway, right? If you move into my house that I'm already paying for, I'm already paying for the rent. I'm already paying for the bills. I'm already paying for these things. Paying for hair, nails, and makeup is just something that, I mean, while I think, yeah, you as somebody in 2023, you can go and do it yourself. But if you want to stay inside of the house and you want to be a stay-at-home mom, a traditional woman, I'll pay for your hair. I'll pay for your makeup. I'll pay for your nails. But if you want to go out and have your own job as well, and you want to have your own source of income, why are we making, even if you're not making half of what I'm making, why can't you pay?
I never said I wouldn't pay, but I'm not
But on
paying
the first
for the
date.
first date.
But what's so sacred about the first date? Isn't this just as much as I'm trying to see your value as you're trying to see mine?
Cause I even think like on a first date, like women spend a lot of money before we arrive. Like we have to make sure our nails look a certain way, our hair, like you just said, all that stuff is expensive. All of it.
Right.
Clothes, hair, makeup.
So
all you have
she's
to
saying
do is,
she's
like,
already made the pre-investment.
And
Yeah.
how much
So
of
it's
it
like
do you
wh-
think is necessary?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
How much is what?
I guess he's saying all the makeup. Did you have to put on all the nice makeup? Did you have to do this when maybe he could have accepted you as you are without all those things?
I
Maybe
mean,
that's what he's saying.
probably, but like, I'm
Would you
not
rather, because that does then hold you to a certain standard that you need to upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can do all those things before the date, why would I need to take over those things after?
because you're trying to be my man.
But you're
That's
doing it
different.
yourself. Why do I need to take on your responsibilities that you're doing? Like you said, you did the hair, you did the nails, you did the makeup, you did all those things before we got into the relationship. Why now, when I'm in a relationship, do I have to take over those things?
Because well, just like a woman's gonna take over certain things that
She's
you
not.
would do. Yes,
like
she
what?
would. Like
Like
she
one
would
thing.
cook, she would clean, she'd make sure your house is sparkling clean all the time. She
That's
would
if she's at
uplift
home
you,
all the
she would
time.
pray for you, she would do all these things that
But
you
those
didn't
are
have
those
before.
are 50-50 things. I would cook, I would clean, I would uplift, I would pray.
Exactly. Just like it's 50-50. I could pay for my food, but I'm not going to.
But that's not 50-50.
Just like I'm not gonna
That's
make
100-0.
How?
It's a no-sum game. If you're not paying for food, that's not 50-50.
Why not?
That's the definition of 50-50. It's
But you
paying
just
for
said the
food, I'm
same
paying
thing.
for
Like you can cook, you can clean, you can do all that stuff for yourself.
Right.
So
I'm
could
saying
I.
if I'm doing all those things for myself and your inclusion is not necessary to those things changing, why do I need to make the sacrifice initially?
He's going back to first date.
I'm going back to the first date.
Oh, I don't know. I just think that's just my mindset on things. That's how I was raised and taught, and I'm not gonna change my mind about it.
Because I was also raised, take care of your ladies, take care of your women. And that's
Like a gentleman's supposed to do those things. If you're not a gentleman, then you're
Has-
like a boy or something.
I think the woman dictates whether or not I'm a gentleman or not.
I think it's difficult because in our culture, like you said, there are some benefits to the feminism movement. I don't think anyone would deny. Women should be able to get paid the same what a man makes. For the now, I know, and I've looked into it specifically, and I'm like, oh, well, if she took maternity leave and she can, okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they've literally shown how some in a corporate position, if a man is doing it, oh, pay him more, and the woman's doing the same thing. I think we would agree that that is not right.
Right.
Don't scare me.
No.
Okay. So I'm saying in terms of some of the positives of feminism, it's like women, no, I can do it myself. I can. So I think the man on a first date could be like, okay, you can handle it. We're just getting to know each other. I think you didn't have to go all out. I didn't ask you to put on the nice hair and the makeup and the eye and all that. I didn't ask you to do it. So in terms of us meeting up for a first date, why can't you just pay a little, I just pay a little, and that's it? Or I just heard this recently, some get offended when it's no money involved. If it's like, let's just go to a park, let's walk around. How would that work for you, first date? No money's being spent, except the gas mutual, you paying to go, he paying to go, or Uber, whatever. What do you think about that? Park, first date.
We go 50-50 on a $2 pack of bread and we go feed some ducks.
Sure. She probably wouldn't go for 50-50 with that.
I mean, you can get the bread. If we're gonna go to the park, you can get the bread. It's your idea. You're the one that asked for the date. I didn't ask you on the date, right? If you asked me to be there, then you should pay for the date. If I asked you on the date, then by all means, then I probably would pay for it. But that's not gonna happen.
It's not going to happen.
No.
So
Okay, how about let's forget the bread.
No bread.
Let's
no
forget
ducks.
the birds.
Just a
the
regular
ducks.
park.
Just regular park, you're just gonna walk and talk. Does that work for a first date?
I mean, we're hanging out.
So that works.
We're hanging out.
Okay.
But you wouldn't call that a date.
Probably not.
What's the difference?
So a date,
A date has
money
to
has to be
involve
spent?
men spending money, which ties back into what we were saying earlier. It's not a man's value is based off the money he has.
I didn't say the amount of money. I guess
just him having the money regardless.
I guess that's true. That's true. I'm not saying that I wouldn't go on a walk at the park.
Okay, because I mean, for a first date, what would you? I think we would all agree the goal of a first date should be getting to know the person.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it is, I mean, because some people go to a movie for the first date, which is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
Have you seen the new Spider-Man?
We're not talking about the movie specifically. We're saying movie, but
saying,
you're
some
trying
movies
to
you
get
need
know
to
each
see.
other, right? So I'm like, if no money's being spent, since this is such a hot topic in 2023, and it has been for a few years, why not no money spent, and let's just talk? I think is that you would go. Are you too fine for that? Is it like, no, you gotta show me that you're investing besides just going to a park?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I would say no.
Okay. Okay.
There's a high likelihood that you would say no.
No, like no, not.
There's a low
not
likelihood that
exactly.
you would say no.
Low likelihood, like I feel like if I was like feeling the person, I wouldn't just be like no.
Okay. So it's maybe what percentage? 75% yes, 25% no?
She's not going to give you that.
80%.
She's not going to give you that.
I don't know. It depends on the person.
I know, no, that totally makes sense. It does depend on the person. You see how
probably.
they interact. Now with social media, you can view someone's whole life.
Yeah.
Before
Because
you
if
go
I
on a
picked
date
you
with
up on a Lamborghini and said, let's go for a walk at the park, you'd be like,
yeah.
No.
no.
Just kidding. No, I was
Oh,
like,
about to say, I would. Hey, brother, I don't like
See
you,
pointers,
but I think okay, let's go for this. Let's transition. So we're still under that umbrella of men pursuing women, but this is a big question. I won't get too personal, but how should men flirt with women? Now, I know you can't speak for men, Elle, but you still like how a man approaches you in a certain way. How do you think the man should approach you, even just down to flirting?
Take notes, man.
damn.
Yeah,
that's
take
hard.
notes.
Take notes,
hopefully,
man.
yeah. Just give us one tip, maybe, or
One
two.
tip. Just be a man. Like, be manly.
And what does that mean? Because we're trying to define that now. It's kind of tough.
It's hard.
away.
Like, like, I think a man has to have like a certain presence for me to like be intrigued with him, like how he carries himself and like being respectful, not being corny or thirsty. I don't know. That's hard. I can't really pinpoint what I like. 'Cause
We'll
it's
throw it
always
back to you.
different.
Think of one way, okay, even that makes a man a man. And I know you might get general, but we'll try to specify. But let me flip it to Christian. Then, Christian, how should us brothers flirt with women?
So I think what she was saying or trying to get to is there is a position of like non-neediness, right? Like you don't want a man that's overly invested in you. Like you want somebody who, if you tell him no, he can just walk away. Like, all right, cool, that's fine. That gives you the allure that this man is somebody who's to be desired, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying they shouldn't be too on you. They should kind of.
Well, yeah, at first, like it's like I think I like mysterious guys, like the one that like is quiet at first and like, cause I'm used to like niggas being in my face, but it's always the one that like not in my face that makes me like
More attracted to
more
them.
attracted to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a saying, women want honesty, they don't want disclosure. And she doesn't want to know everything about you. You want to pull that out of them
Yeah. Over time.
over time.
Okay.
Not
Hey, this is
everything
everything about me. She's kind of like, well, what the do I need to know about you?
Okay. So give, like she said, mysterious, give little bits
right.
as we go.
Breadcrumbing.
But so back to the question though. So how should, if I see a young lady at, Pointer's not really at the club, anywhere, how should I flirt? At the bookstore, Barnes and Noble at the Grove. She's reading a book.
Just go say hi.
Yeah. Speak, but don't be weird. Like
If you're
That's the
if you're
difficulty.
like if
putting
she's at Barnes and Nobles, be like, what are you reading?
if you're putting everything, and that's the thing, if you're putting that much thought into it, you're already shooting yourself in the foot.
Oh, so not for me to go too much of a tangent. You don't watch this show for me, but
do.
it's
We
very
do.
difficult today
watch it.
dating because of I got to keep relating it to the feminism movement, which I kind of like. But women being so I don't need a man that sometimes just hi isn't enough. Or hey, what you reading? Why are you talking to me?
Oh, that's fine.
I've literally gotten like, and I'm like, okay, forget it then. But then they're the same ones that go to Twitter, Instagram, and like, these men out here are trash. It's like, I tried to approach you. I tried to talk to you, and you were like, nah, forget it.
But rejection is your friend. And you know that.
Well, it depends though. If I keep getting rejected and I keep going home crying and the pillow gets wetter and wetter, what am I? Is that my friend?
It is your friend.
How?
Because it lets you know right off the bat you guys wouldn't have worked out anyway.
I don't
Get a towel for your pillow. Keep crying into it. No, it's
I'll just
cool.
keep getting it. Okay.
Or cry a
Just
little
keep
bit
adding
less.
to the tears.
Just
So, Elle, you would agree though with him that you should just do just be yourself, be confident? Because a lot of ladies will say it's just about the confidence. And it's just about, that's another question. Well, I don't want to go on too many tangents, but is it just about the confidence or do looks obviously play a part?
Looks play a part.
Thank you.
course. I mean,
Thank
they
you.
play
I
a
was
part.
hoping.
But like, I also could be happy with like a medium ugly nigga. Like, you know what I
They keep
mean?
saying that, but I don't know how many actually apply.
She said she
the medium.
can be.
But have you ever?
There would need to be a
not too
plethora
personal, but
of
have you
checklist.
dated someone you would really call a medium ugly nigga?
Of course not.
Maybe at times I'm like,
Dating.
you look a little different.
And
this
what is
morning,
the
but-
benefit of dating? Because I've seen benefit, like ladies, but if you get a medium ugly nigga, then he won't cheat on, like, and that's not really true.
That's actually not.
It's not
true.
true at all. They
Briefly.
actually may do it more because other ladies
Yeah.
feel sorry for them and like. So, why would you choose purposefully a medium ugly brother?
I wouldn't
dates.
choose one, but they seem to be sometimes the ones that have like better personalities. Like
Here's what they
they're
have to
better
go off.
lovers. They're selfless. Like I think because I've dated like really, really attractive guys before, and like they care about only themselves, their looks, and like they're the whole like reason. They think they're the prize, and I don't want that.
Oh, I got to go there. I'm sorry. I got to go there because that's a big thing I hear today of women saying men should not view themselves as the prize and that women are the prize, which is why you should be pursued. But, I'm going to stay neutral if I can. But, men, we invest in ourselves, and we do build in many ways, physically, emotionally. We take classes and go to seminars and educate. So it's like I do have value. So why should I not view myself as a prize? Why should I not view myself?
Don't do that to her point.
I just
don't do that.
This is a genuine, and Elle being a lovely lady, and her going viral and all this great stuff. You can give us some insight. I mean, just keep it real with me. I'm staying neutral. I'm not going to go back tit for tat. But why should not Pointer? Why should men not view themselves as the prize?
I know that seems really bad to say.
No, keep it real. Because a lot of women say it. You're not the only one.
Because it's just becoming more like men want to be treated like women, and they're men, so they shouldn't be treated like women. And I just think I don't know, as a man, you shouldn't want certain things. That sounds so bad.
Okay. No, keep it real, Christian.
So
I'm ready to talk, but I want you to say your thoughts, your response.
Oh no, she wasn't done.
Oh.
I don't really know. I just think I don't think it's a manly thing to expect a woman to do your duties.
Okay. Now, real quick, Christian, I'm sure you have something to say, but could it be that our society has dictated how men should behave, sometimes to the positive, nurture, take care of pay the bills, but also sometimes to the negative that I can't have that value in myself. I'm supposed to just be the strong buck and I just pay the bills and I'll go out and do it. It's like we can't have some emotional kind of value to where it's like, no, I am valuable. I am worth something. So of course, yes, I want you. You are the prize, but I also have some value too.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You have value.
But you're saying there's a limit though. I can't
There's a cap to it though,
okay.
I think. I don't know, to a certain point, I feel like that sounds so bad now that I'm saying this out loud.
Well, that's what I love about the last talk. We've literally had people get revelations as we just talk. That's the beauty of conversation. One of the most important ones in Christian, you're going to talk. We were doing a top 5 Joe Biden most racist moments. And the young man, literally, dear friend of mine, he really realized in that moment that Biden is more racist than Trump. Because he came and I hate Trump. Mama said I hate Trump. Grandma, I hate Trump. And I was like, wait, let's just look at what Joe Biden has said. And and then literally on the show, it was like a revelation. I was like, dang, Joe Biden is a racist. But anyway, back to this conversation. Christian, your response to Elle.
So you don't feel that men should feel that they're a prize?
Yeah, they should feel like they're a prize.
You said they should?
I just had a moment.
She's switching up. That's beautiful.
I think
That's beautiful. That's
for
on the
I guess
last
so.
talk show.
Good.
But I
In a
still,
way.
like I'm saying, I'm staying neutral. Elle. I don't disagree with you. I do believe there are roles for men and roles for women. And I know I could get canceled for that today. But there are. There are. But in terms of men, sometimes we deserve to be dissed. And then other times, hey, take it easy. We brothers, sometimes we're doing the best we can sometimes. If that Mickey D's Happy Meal is what I get you for your birthday, I'm not for the woman. Not for the woman. I'm saying for little Timmy, for little Pointer. It's like I'm doing the best I can with what I've got. So I do think that is, heavily debated upon for a reason, but I think we men do have value. And sometimes we are a prize. I invest in myself. I'm doing my best to look good for you. It's the same thing. That's when Teddy Pendergrass said that 50-50 love. Y'all are too young. You don't know nothing about Teddy. But at any rate, let's go to the next one. So inversely, we said, how should men flirt with women? How should women flirt with men? Or first, Elle, should they?
Yeah, I think they should.
So tell us how. How should women, and not pursuing, but still flirting, how should they?
Ladies, get your notebooks out.
Again?
Complimenting him, flirting with him, I think. Showing interest,
See, women are so, and it's a beautiful thing, they're complex. Yeah. So a compliment, hey, Pointer, nice shirt. And I'm just like, thank you. I don't know how to read that. Is it do you want to talk more? Because sometimes it's just a compliment. My dear mother, when she went shopping and she would just smile. She has a nice smile. She would smile at dudes in the store. Hey, how you doing? And they follow her out of the store. She got a ring on and everything. I'm not trying to talk to you. I just said hi. So I think we men kind of misread the compliment. But Christian, your thoughts?
But that's what ties into what we were saying earlier about the overinvestment, right? Hey, that's a nice shirt you're wearing. Oh, well, thank you, because I put the shirt on because I knew it was a nice shirt. right? I think they call them in the manosphere, I guess they call them indicators of interest, right? And this is something that happens across the board. Men don't get compliments, like I would assume. You've probably gotten more compliments in the last 3 days than I've gotten in the last 3 decades. Let's just understand something. But it's the reality.
That is how women, yeah.
It just is the reality of it.
Would you say, especially in a time maybe that you were single, did you compliment men that were good, that deserved it?
No, not verbally.
Okay.
Not verbal.
So what's the
How
other way to
else do you
compliment?
compliment them?
I like eye flirt, I guess.
See,
Okay, that's also
but ladies do that all the time, and that's still, what is eye flirting? Can you give us a live example of eye flirting?
I don't know, like.
I thought it was that look, just one?
No.
Oh, I thought it was like, he's smiling. I thought it might have been one. So just a simple.
I don't know.
I mean, I get looks.
Like
I mean, maybe it's my great hair. Maybe it's
hair.
the hair. Maybe, but I get
It's
looks.
like a lingering stare, like, you know.
So like how long? I don't want to look at a certain person. So like how long?
If I wasn't interested, I would just do this. If I was interested, I would look at you like that.
So start bending the head and.
Like, you know, I don't know.
Does that count, Christian? You said yes when she first said it. So you think the eye flirting? It's just tough. I mean, because then if you stare too much, you're a weirdo.
It is.
I think for guys, it's a little different.
So a lady could stare at me for just.
It has to be like, it has to like be eye contact from both ends. It can't just be like I looked away and I look up and you're still looking at me. Then it's like weird.
Exactly.
You know?
Okay, so
But
there's
you
an
can
art
tell.
to it.
Right. If you're looking at somebody and you can tell how they're looking at you, mind you, those are things guys miss across the board because we're not going back and looking, you know, I look at this pretty girl, oh man, she's pretty. I look back at her, she's looking at me. That's usually an indicator right there. If like by the time I'm thinking to look back, she's also thinking to look back. Yeah.
That's so movies though. That's so 1990s rom-com.
But
it's
okay.
real.
But it's real though, because it's not men. Okay, so men communicate overtly.
Okay.
Right? We communicate very
just be
on
open.
the surface.
Yes,
Like we
yes.
know what we want. Hey girl, you're pretty. Women don't do that.
That's
They're
true.
subverting, or their communication is really subversive. Like
But should they be more? Do you think women? Because do you agree with him that he's right? I kind of agree. Do you think women are more like, I'm not just going to openly say it like a man? Like, hey, I think you're attractive. Most women don't do that.
No.
Right? So do you think they should be though?
No. I think they should leave some mystery to it. Like if you give everything in the beginning, you know, I feel like guys are actually the opposite. Like if you make them know that you like them too much, then they're like, boring. Let me try someone else. Like, you know what I mean? But instead, I feel like it should be like,
I don't
you
agree
know.
with that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll marry you today.
Some
Right now,
guys,
I know.
it really. Now, I mean, and I'm glad you said it earlier. Looks do matter. So if you are looking
course,
good and you're not too aggressive, of course, if she was hopping on Fatal Attraction, killing my rabbit in my pot, then I'm like, okay, wait, you're a weirdo. So y'all don't know Fatal Attraction? You do. Ella, have you seen Fatal Attraction? Okay, thank God. Okay, you kids are so young. Let's go to the next one. Should you ghost someone that you're no longer interested in? Should you ghost someone? Ghosting is big today.
No.
Elle, what do you think? Should you ghost someone that you're no longer interested in?
No.
No. Why do you
should
say?
just tell them.
Just tell them.
Yeah, have I? Probably, yeah. I have, but.
Why would you say you? Do you think some deserved it? Some such jerks, and it's like you don't even deserve a formal exit. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like that was more of my reason for just being like,
think that is
you're
it a
just.
lot.
Yeah, you're just like, ugh. Like if you haven't figured out what you did, then I don't know what to say. If you feel like you want to reach out and be like, what happened, then maybe I might like.
Right.
Tell you, but no.
I feel you on that one. Christian.
No, I don't think there's ever. Okay, well, never mind. I don't want to say that. Not ever, because there are probably some guys out there, and probably some women too, that.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, you know what?
Equality.
I can't tell you no in any other way
than
not responding to you. But if it's just like everything was going good and then you all of a sudden just
That's
vanish
bad.
in the
And
air, at least give me the opportunity to grow for myself. My brother told me this. He was like, I'm really big on like self-improvement. There are times where it's just like, hey, obviously we didn't work out. Like, what are some things that I could work on?
And
what are some things that you saw that I
Right, and that was the first question I asked you both, the self-assessment.
Right.
Because a lot of us need to do that more. I think do a self-inventory and be like, what did I, even daily, at the end of the day, just real quick, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? You know, when I'm getting rejected millions of times, I'm like, okay, what could I have done? Should I have done this hair, maybe twist?
No, you should get rejected 1,000,001.
Okay, why?
Just because why
Let's
not?
go. Okay, generally speaking, I think I know what Elle's answer is going to be. Generally speaking, should the goal of dating be marriage? Generally speaking. Still, because that's a controversial one.
I think so.
Okay. Why do you
Yeah.
say?
Because I'm not about to spend my time with someone, get to know them, all this stuff. I'm not like a test drive on a car or something. I feel like the whole point of it is to like to build somebody, build something with someone, right?
Right.
To get to like an ultimate goal in the end is to like be with this person. But I do think there's times where you can date and you can kind of like fill out the like the dating pool and like see if this is what you want. And you're trying to figure out like what you like. But I think at the end goal, like it's to like have marriage for me.
Yeah, Christian.
So I would say, barring religious involvement, such as Christianity, or
Muslim,
Muslims,
Jew,
Jews, whatever it is, marriage only benefits the woman. I don't even think that people who aren't religious should be married, regardless. That doesn't do anything. For a man, marriage is a business decision.
You've been watching too much Dr. Umar.
No,
But tell me why.
But it is what it is. I mean, if we look at me being from California, right? If I had actually married my partner, right, and we split, right? California doesn't give a fuck about how much time I put in, how much investment I put in, right? She's gonna get half of it anyway. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Yet, however, like the same thing that happened with Kobe. Like, Kobe about to lose 150 M's, but she wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Oh, like the idea that now marriage, I believe that marriage is this beautiful thing. But my own mother used to tell me marriage is a piece of paper, right? Because it is when you're not overtly religious. When God isn't backing up your union, there's no point in getting married. Because what I'm going to do for you as your husband or what I'm going to do for you as your man, your boyfriend, should all be the same thing. We shouldn't be necessarily dating with the idea that we're going to get married. Because again, this is the idea of women have opportunity, men have chances. Because I'd be willing to say this, I'd be willing to get canceled for this. I think that what men are willing to do for women is far and above what what women are willing to do for men. So my idea of dating for marriage, there's a lot more now that I realize I have to start paying attention to when it comes to dating, because there are a lot of things you're going to miss right away. There's a lot of things you're going to miss when you're in that honeymoon stage. So if we're just dating to marriage, I am going to look past a lot of these flags I should have seen, because we're dating for a reason. Whereas if to your point, if we're just dating to get to know each other, then that becomes a little bit something. Then that becomes more. And then once we're boyfriend and girlfriend, maybe we're doing something with the intention of getting married. But me taking you out to Nobu and possibly not getting something on the first date, why would I jump into this with the idea of marriage?
Elliot,
So then it's all about sex then?
I would say a fair amount of intergender communications is about sex. Would you? Okay.
That goes back to that first.
You got a married man that you haven't had sex with? Be honest.
Maybe.
Well, and this is
Maybe
could be a whole
sometimes
other. You're going real deep, because I love talking about Jesus and godliness. But in terms of that, I have to agree with you. Outside of God, there is no reason to get married.
Right.
I mean, marriage is a beautiful thing, but outside of that, it's like, hey, I know people that have just shacked for 30 plus years. I was like, hey, I don't need no sheet of paper. It's just, hey, she loved me, I love her, that's it.
Right.
That's just how they are. Elle, let me let Elle think. Do you agree? What do you think? If God is out of the mix, any religious anything, is marriage still worth something?
I mean, obviously, I think God should be a part of a marriage. But I think, like, when you get married, like, it's deciding to have a partner for life. You know what I mean? Like, someone that you're willing to go through everything with, that's always still going to be there, like, for you in your corner, even when you're ugly or you're poor or, your leg is broken or, like, whatever you go through, like, this person is always going to be your person. I think that's what marriage is about.
So it's about that commitment.
Yeah, commitment.
Okay. But you can be committed without the document, without the ring, right?
Can you?
Yes.
You can.
Them that I know that have been
Absolutely.
shot, I think they are.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
then
know.
like legally, you're single at the end of the day, like
But
without
but
that commitment, and
legally.
and I feel like that just
Why
gives
does that matter?
people like, it gives them like the safety to be like, oh, well,
women's
we're not
safety.
married, so
So I can do certain things that.
so technically, like
Right,
it doesn't
right.
matter. Like but it's like, are we married?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
No, I'm not doing that. So I feel
But
like
I think that speaks more to, are you truly committed even in the dating stage? Because we know married couples that
Yeah.
be
Right.
doing wrong. So I think that is
true.
where the God aspect has to come in, though, because it's like,
There's something
I'm not doing
behind
this
it.
for you, you're not doing this for me. We're together, but working for God. I'd say Jesus specifically, but there are those, whatever. Very good. Let's go one more question. Oh gosh, I don't want to get too.
I think
Okay.
you got it.
Okay, I want to go. Should we go crazy? Last one.
Of course.
Elle, you ready?
yeah.
Why do some black men like 300+ pound white women?
Yeah.
I was just on my heart. If you neither of you can arrive at an answer.
I've got an answer.
I know you do. I know Christian
No,
does.
no,
Els, is that just, okay, first of all, let me ask, have you seen that? Have you seen a kind of exaggerated number of black men that are in decent shape in relationships with 300-pound+ white women? Have you seen that?
I have.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with like her low self-esteem, and she has money and she just lets him walk all over her. And he probably is out doing everything he wants to do, but he has this big person. Oh my God.
No, that's true. Hey, that's,
You know?
you did not get offensive. I could go way worse than that. Okay.
So I don't know.
Do you
like,
think it has to do with he can control, he can,
yeah,
you know,
he can manipulate her to do and be whoever he wants her to
Do you
be.
think, okay, let me let Christian go then. Christian,
No, she's got it. She's got it basically.
So could it be, obviously for some we would hope that it's just a genuine like.
It might-
no,
yeah,
it's not
it
because,
is.
and that's what some say, because I've literally had the discussion not on on the show, but with regular people, one that was dating one. He said, no, I just like her. I was like, I was shocked.
But there is also a level of concern and care that, to your point, if you have a lower self-esteem, I'm not saying this is the case across the board, right? If low self-esteem is a factor, what you are willing to do for your partner is by and large more than what you're willing to do if your esteem is high. Because when you feel like you cannot get something else, you're going to be that much more willing to do everything to keep what you have, right? So I think that's a fair amount of it. And, you know, I don't know if the statistics are that in shape white men like 300-pound black women. Like, I don't, you know.
I've actually seen those though.
Right, I think we're only speaking from black men's perspective.
No, but I've seen skinnier white men with
very heavy set black women.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's just the dynamic there.
But is it that skinny? I mean, Pointer does like bigger women.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but am I an outlier? I don't know.
I don't think you're an outlier.
Or does,
You like
does it not matter because I'm
300-pound
black and
women?
she's black? Does it matter? What happened now?
You like 300-pound women?
I mean, I don't really pull out a scale and like, hey, babe.
I do like thick women. I'm not.
I mean, it's just, you know, I won't get too crazy. Anyway, that is, I think that's our time.
Something to be said about stretch marks.
But I sure do
love
appreciate Elle and Christian for coming out. It was more peaceful. I'm glad. What could have been a little crazier, I think Logic Elle had a revelation on the show that we men can be a prize. We can be.
Yeah.
But I think Elle is sometimes within reason. Within reason, there is a limit.
You got to
your
deserve the prize.
You
got
got
to deserve
it.
that we feel it, right?
And I think, but women, not all women.
I don't think women
think-
deserve the prize value that they get, but men do have to earn it. And if you're not there, you shouldn't call yourself the prize.
Okay, I think we'll stop it there. I am so excited for this, folks. Elle and Christian here having a great discussion. We could go longer, but we'll stop. Elle, it was a pleasure having you on the show. I want you to share with the viewer how they can find you so they can connect with you and you continue to do what you do best. How do they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. Call me Elle, please.
Call her Elle, please.
That is me.
Elle, please. Thank you so much, Elle, for coming out. And Christian, he needs to get back on
I do
there.
need to get back
Still
on
say
social
something.
media. But my name is Christian. You can find me.
Some stand-up vids on YouTube, maybe?
Right. I don't know. Tell you what, by the time we do this.
Okay, then you'll be tagged, yes.
But
Thank you
yes,
so much,
tag
folks,
me.
for viewing, for analyzing with us. Continue to like, subscribe, comment, share, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Last Talk Show. Thank you, folks. We appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Lil Pointer, and I would really like it if you like, subscribe, and shared. And check out our other videos here, 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 and here. See ya.